I hope you had your coffee this morning because today we're tackling a very big topic. Today we're talking about how to evolve all the Pokemon in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Let's get started. Hey everybody, Blaine here for Bridge4 Games, and yeah, like I said in the intro there, today we're going to be talking about how to evolve every single Pokemon in Pokemon Legends Arceus. So, I know I've seen some videos covering how to evolve like the Eevees or how to evolve just the Numons. Today I'm going to show you how to evolve every single one, all the way from Rowlet all the way to Darkrai. So, it's going to be a very big project, and I can't wait to share it with you guys right now. So, a couple things to keep in mind. Obviously, we're going to be revealing every Pokemon in the game, so do keep in mind there's probably going to be spoilers here. And on top of that, I'm not going to be necessarily covering where to find every single Pokemon, but I am going to cover how to get some of the specific items that you may need, or some of the key items that you may need to evolve those Pokemon, or help them change forms. So now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and just dive right in. But before we do, I just want to take a second to ask that if you like the videos we have here on the channel, please make sure that you actually like them by hitting the thumbs up button, and of course consider subscribing to the channel to become part of our amazing Pokemon community, to make sure that you never miss any of the awesome videos like this one. And one last thing to note before we get started. I just want to give a huge shout out to Cerebi because we're going to be using a lot of their graphics to help explain what levels Pokemon evolve at. And honestly, it's just one of the best sites and best resources for everything Pokemon, so if you don't already, go ahead and check out Cerebi.net. It has more information than you could possibly believe. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get started with Pokemon number 1, Rowlet. Alright, so starting things off with Rowlet. Rowlet evolves into Dartrix at level 17. Now, normally that would evolve into Decidueye at level 34, but in the Hisui region, it evolves into Hisui and Decidueye at level 36. Now, Cyndaquil evolves into Quilava at level 14 normally, but in Pokemon Legends Arceus, it evolves into Quilava at level 17. Then it evolves into Hisuian Typhlosion at level 36. Oshawott evolves into Dewott at level 17, and then Hisuian Samurott at level 36. Bidoof evolves into Bibarel at level 15. Starly evolves into Staravia at level 14, and then into Staraptor at level 34. Shinx evolves into Luxio at level 15, and then into Luxray at level 30. Now, Wurmple is kind of an interesting case, because it evolves into both of its middle forms, both Silcoon and Cascoon at level 7, and then its final forms, Beautifly and Dustox, at level 10. However, the code that actually detects whether it's going to become Silcoon or Cascoon is randomly determined in the game, so you're going to just kind of have to try it and see what happens. Now, next up we have Ponyta evolving into Rapidash at level 40. Now, we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite dog/cat pet kind of thing here, Eevee. So, Eevee evolves into Leafeon when you use a Leaf Stone on it, or in the presence of the Mossy Rock in the game. Now, it can also evolve into Glaceon by using an Ice Stone on it, or by being near the Frozen Rock in the game as well. Now, everybody will know that Eevee evolves into a Jolteon by using a Thunderstone on it, a Vaporeon by using a Water Stone on it, or a Flareon by using a Fire Stone on it. But of course, Eevee also has some friendship-based evolutions as well, so Eevee's at max happiness is going to be able to evolve into an Espeon during the day and an Umbreon at night. However, if that max happiness Eevee is going to have a fairy move as well, they'll be able to evolve into Sylveon instead of the other two. Zubat evolves into Golbat at level 22, and then into Crobat when it has max happiness. Drifloon evolves into Drifblim at level 28. Kricketot evolves into Kricketune at level 10. Weasel evolves into Floatzel at level 26, but don't tell my friend Mike because he prefers to just keep it as Weasel. Now, Burmy evolves into Wormadam at level 20 if it's female. However, if the Burmy is male, it'll evolve into Mothim instead. Now, Geodude evolves into Graveler at level 25, and then you can either trade it or use a Link Cable item on it to evolve it into Golem. Now, Stantler evolves into Weirdeer by using the move Psy Shield Bash 20 times using the Agile style. Now, yeah, it's going to take a little bit of work to actually get this thing evolved, but we've been waiting a really long time to get an evolution for Stantler, and it really needed it, so it's pretty much worth the effort. Now, Munchlax evolves into Snorlax when it has max happiness. Paras evolves into Parasect at level 24. Pichu evolves into Pikachu when it has max happiness, and then you can use the Thunderstone to evolve it into Raichu. Abra evolves into Kadabra at level 16, and just like Golem, you can evolve it by either trading it or using a Link Cable on it to make it into Alakazam. Chimchar evolves into Monferno at level 14, and then Infernape at level 36. Now Baneri evolves into Lopunny when it's evolved with max happiness. Now Cherubi evolves into Cherrim at level 25. Psyduck evolves into Golduck at level 33. Now if you happen to have a Scyther, you can use a Metal Coat on it to turn it into a Scissor. However, if you have a Black Augurite, you can use that to turn it into a Cleaver instead. Now, obviously, Black Augurite is a new item for the game, so the way you can find it is by finding it on the floor in Space-Time Distortions. You can find it when you're riding Ursaluna by random chance. It's also a reward by completing the mission A Nosepass Guides the Way. It also happens to be dropped by Pokemon Graveler and Golem when you encounter them in space-time distortions. Now, female Combee evolve into Vespiquen at level 21. Heracross does not evolve. Now, Mime Jr., when it knows the move Mimic, will be able to evolve into Mr. Mime, but please don't, it's so creepy. Next up, when Aipom knows the move Double Hit, it's able to evolve into Ambipom. Magikarp evolves into Gyarados at level 20. Shellos evolves into Gastrodon at level 30. Now, Hisuian Quillfish can evolve into Overquill by using the move Barbarage, Strong Style, 20 times. So again, much like Stantler, we're going to have to do a little bit of work to get this thing evolved, but again, it's been kind of a long time, so I think it's pretty much worth it. Now, Happiny is able to evolve into Chansey by using the Oval Stone on it, and then Chansey is able to evolve into Blissey by using Max Happiness. Badoo is able to evolve into Roselia with Max Friendship during the day. Then you have to use a Shiny Stone on it to make it into Roserade. Carnivine does not evolve. Petlil, much like in the normal games, will evolve into Lilligant using a Sunstone. However, in these games, it's going to evolve into Hisuian Lilligant instead. Tangela evolves into Tangrowth when it knows the move Ancient Power. Barboach evolves into Whiscash at level 30. Croagunk evolves into Toxicroak at level 37. Now, Ralts evolves into Kirlia at level 20. If Kirlia is evolved to level 30, it will become a Gardevoir. However, if the Kirlia is male and you use a Dawnstone on it, it will actually evolve into Gallade instead. Now, Yanma evolves into Yanmega when it knows the move Ancient Power. Hippopotas evolves into Hippowdon at level 34. Pachirisu does not evolve. Now, Stunky evolves into Stuntank at level 34. Now, Teddiursa is kind of a unique one because it got a new evolution this generation. Teddiursa evolves into Ursaring at level 30. Then if you use the Peat Block on it under a full moon, it will evolve into Ursa Luna. Now, a couple quick things about this. We're going to cover how to get the Peat Block in just a second, but once you have it in your inventory, go ahead and go to camp and camp until nighttime. Once you get into nighttime, try to use your Peat Block on your Ursaring. Now, if you're able to evolve it, that means it's a full moon. If you're not, no full moon. A lot of people are recommending you go and actually look at the sky. That's going to take a ton of time, so don't bother. Just go ahead and try to use the item, and you'll find out really quickly. If you can't use it, of course, that means there's not a full moon. So you need to go ahead and camp again until the following evening. Then, try to use the item again, and of course, rinse and repeat until you're able to evolve it. Now, to get the actual Peat Block itself, you're going to have to do a couple different things. You can use your Ursa Luna to kind of try and dig it up. It's a bit random, though. However, there's also the request, Gone Astray in the Icelands, and they'll reward you with a Peat Block. You can also buy a Peat Block by the vendor at the beginning of Jubilife Village. It is kind of expensive though, so you may need to find a lot of satchels in order to actually get the item. Now, Gumi evolves into Hisuian Sliggoo at level 40, which then evolves into Hisuian Gudra at level 50 when it's raining. Onix evolves into Steelix when you use the Metal Coat item on it. Now, Rhyhorn evolves into Rhydon at level 42, and then evolves into Rhyperior when you use the Protector item on it. Now, Bonsly evolves into Sudowoodo when it knows the move Mimic. Lickitung will evolve into Licky Licky when it knows the move Rollout. Now, Togepi evolves into Togetic when it has Max Happiness, and Togetic evolves into Togekiss when you use a Shiny Stone on it. Turtwig evolves into Grotle at level 18, and then Torterra at level 32. Porygon evolves into Porygon 2 when you use an upgrade on it, and then evolves into Porygon Z when you use the Dubious Disc on it. Now, Ghastly evolves into Haunter at level 25, and then much like our other Gen 1 trade Evos, you can either trade it or use a Link Cable item on it to get it to evolve into a Gengar. Spiritomb does not evolve, but boy howdy, it is a pain in the neck to catch, because you have to go ahead and get all the Wisps. Now, Murkrow evolves into Honchkrow by using a Duskstone on it. Unknown does not evolve, however it does have a bunch of different forms, so those can be found in static locations throughout the entire game, and once you catch them all, they will appear randomly in different areas of the game. Spheal evolves into Celio at level 32, which then evolves into Whaleren at level 44. Remoraid evolves into Octillery at level 25. Skorupi evolves into Drapion at level 40. Now, just like in the original games, Growlithe evolves into Arcanine when you use a Firestone on it. Now, Glameow evolves into Perugly at level 38. Now, Machop evolves into Machoke at level 28, and of course, once we trade it or use a Link Cable item on it, it'll become a Machamp. Chatot does not evolve. Now, Duskull will become Dusclops at level 37. Then you can use a Reaper Cloth item on it to get it to become Dusknoir. Piplup evolves into Prinplup at level 16, and then Empoleon at level 36. If you have a Remoraid in your party, Mantyke will be able to evolve into Mantine. Now, Basculin is kind of a pain in the neck here. So the White Stripe Basculin that is commonly found in the Hisui region is able to evolve into Basculegion when it takes 294 points of damage or more in recoil and does not faint in a battle.
What the is even that?
Vulpix evolves into Ninetales using a Firestone. However, Alolan Vulpix will evolve into Alolan Ninetales using an Ice Stone on it. Tentacool evolves into Tentacruel at level 30. Finian evolves into Luminion at level 31. Magby evolves into Magmari at level 30, and then evolves into Magmortar by using a Magmarizer on it. Magnemite evolves into Magneton at level 30. Then you have a few options. You can either use the Thunderstone on it to evolve it to Magnezone, or you can evolve it in the Coronet Highlands. That will give you the electric field necessary to evolve it without using the stone. Bronzor evolves into Bronzong at level 33. Elekid evolves into Electabuzz at level 30, and then will evolve into Electivire when you use an Electrizer on it. Gligar will evolve into Gliscor when you evolve it at night using a Razor Fang. Gible will evolve into Gabite at level 24, and will evolve into one of my favorites, Garchomp, at level 48. Now, much like Magnezone, Nosepass will evolve into Probopass when you evolve it in the presence of an electric field, so the Coronet Highlands, or one of the changes they recently made, you can also use a Thunderstone on it to get it to evolve. Now, moving on to Voltorb, unlike normal Voltorb that evolves into Electrode at level 30, Hisuian Voltorb actually evolves into a Hisuian Electrode by using a Leaf Stone on it. Now, from there, we're going to talk about another electric Pokemon, Rotom. Now, Rotom is a very notorious Pokemon because in the games, it can evolve into a number of different types when it has an appliance it can actually go into. Fan Rotom, making it flying and electric, also making Levitate kind of useless, which kind of stinks. Frost Rotom, which is ice and electric. Heat Rotom, which is fire and electric. Mow Rotom, which is grass and electric. And of course, Wash Rotom, which is water and electric. Now, in order to get those appliances, it's kind of different in every game. In this game, you actually have to buy it from the Ginkgo Guild. Now, this merchant here that you're going to see in Jubilife Village will have the appliances to sell you periodically throughout the game. So, you're going to need to check back kind of often to get the appliances, but when you get them, you'll be able to use the items to actually transform Rotom into each of its respective forms. Alright, from there we have Chingling, which can evolve into Chimecho when it has max happiness at nighttime. Now, Mischievous evolves into Mismagius by using a Dusk Stone. Now, Cleffa will evolve into Clefairy using max happiness, and then Clefairy will evolve into Clefable by a Moonstone. Now we're getting another new Pokemon here. So Sneasel normally evolves into Weavile by using a Razor Fang at night. However, Hisuian Sneasel will actually evolve into Sneasler when you use a Razor Fang during the day. Now from there we have Snorunt, who at level 42 will evolve into Glalie. However, female Snorunt, when you use a Dawnstone on it, will turn into Frostlass instead. Now Craniados will turn into Rampardos at level 30, and Shieldon will evolve into Bastiodon at level 30 also. Now Swinub will evolve into Piloswine at level 33, and then when Piloswine knows Ancient Power, it will evolve into Mamoswine. Now Bergmite in the Hisui region evolves into Hisuian Avalugg at level 37. Snover evolves into Abomasnow at level 40. Now much like the normal Zorua, Hisuian Zorua will evolve into Hisuian Zoroark at level 30. Rufflet will evolve into Hisuian Braviary at level 54. Now Riolu, when evolved with max happiness during the daytime, will evolve into Lucario. Let's talk about the Lake Guardians. They don't evolve at all, so you don't really have to worry about it. Heatran does not evolve. Regigigas does not evolve. Cresselia does not evolve. Now the Genies do not evolve, but they certainly do change form. Now once you've captured an Amarys and get her all the way up to level 10 in the Pokedex, Khajiit is going to go ahead and give you the Reveal Glass, allowing all of the Genies to turn into their Therian forms, or their, animal forms. Now Dialga doesn't evolve, but it does have an alternative form in the game. Dialga can turn into its origin form by using an Adamant Crystal on it. In the post-game, you can do this by meeting up with Adamant at Lake Valor, and you'll have to battle him, and if you defeat him, he will give you the Adamant Crystal. Now Palkia is pretty similar. Palkia again doesn't evolve, but does have its origin form. In order to actually change it, you need to get the Lustrous Globe. In order to do that, you have to meet with Arida at the Pearl Settlement in the post-game. Very similar to Adamant, you're going to have to battle her, and when you defeat her, she'll hand over the Lustrous Globe. Now Giratina is a little bit different. In order to get its origin form, you have to complete the Giratina mission in the game. Now you do have to catch Giratina, and then once you go back and complete the mission, you will be rewarded with the Greasiest Core, allowing Giratina to become its origin form. Now from there, of course, we have the God of the Pokemon world, Arceus. Now throughout the game, you've gotten a bunch of plates, including the Legend Plate, which will allow it to either become each type, or the normal type in the case of the Legend Plate. Now in battle, obviously it'll change form, but when you do use a plate on it, it's going to change its appearance, so it'll look kind of like any of these. There are quite a lot, one for each plate, and to get the plates, you really just have to play through the game because you'll get them throughout the course of the game, so you don't have to do anything special to hunt them down. Now, Manaphy and Fion don't have any evolutions, and because there's no breeding in the game, you can't really interact it with Ditto to get another one that way. So, really, just catch them separate, and you'll be fine. Now, Shaman does change form. Now, if you have Pokemon Sword and Shield save data on your Switch, you'll be able to actually get the Shaman special event and you'll be able to actually get the Gracidia when you begin that event. All you have to do is use the Gracidia to find Shaman, and then if you use the item on it between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. your time, you'll be able to change Shaman into its Sky form. Darkrai is our final Pokemon, and much like a lot of the legendaries and mythicals we've covered, Darkrai does not evolve. Whew! We finally made it, guys! That is how to evolve every single Pokemon in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, some of the methods are convoluted, but I do hope that this guide makes it a little bit easier for you guys to complete your Pokedexes, get your Shiny Charm, and start getting some very, very awesome Pokemon in Pokemon Legends Arceus. So, that being said, everybody, I hope you really enjoyed the video, and if you did, please make sure that you absolutely impact that like button in the face, and as always, consider subscribing to the channel to become part of our amazing Pokemon community to make sure that you never miss any of the awesome videos like this one. So, that being said, everybody, I've been Blaine for Bridge4 Games. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me as I tackle this kind of crazy project. Remember that the best Pokemon games are the ones that you love to play, and the proper ways to play them are however you have the most fun. I hope each and every one of you have a happy, epic, awesome, and amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. See you around. Bye-bye!